Good day, everyone. My name is Anessa A. Avenido, a BSED third-year student, third schedule. So today, I am going to discuss to you about the poem God's Grandeur, written by Gerard Hopkins. But before we stick to the poem, let me first introduce to you who is Gerard Hopkins. Okay, so Gerard Hopkins, he is an English poet and a Jesuit priest. He was born on July 8, 1844, and he was a British and a Roman Catholic. He established as an innovative writer of verse and his technique of praising God through a vivid use of imagery and nature. Okay, so God's Grandeur is one of his known work written in 1877 when he became a Jesuit priest. Okay, so for those who don't know what is a Jesuit priest, okay, so a Jesuit priests are those group of missionary priests. So he was a friend of Robert Bridge, the one who collected his poem and established an anthologist received by John Henry Newman into the Roman Catholic in 1866. So when he becomes a Jesuit priest, then he became a devout, active churchman. After then, in June 8, 1889, at the age of 44, he died. So let us now proceed to the poem. Okay, so God's Grandeur, grandeur means greatness or grandness in French word. Okay, so here now is the poem God's Grandeur. Okay, so this poem is a finely crafted sonnet. So why sonnet? Ngayon sonnet? It's because these lines are divided into an 8 subsection called octave and followed by a 6-line subsection called system. Okay, so an octave that follows a rhyme scheme of ABBA, ABBA means the first, fourth, and fifth to the 8 lines all rhyme together, and the second, third to 6, 7 lines also rhyme together. Okay, so the first 4 line of the octave, as you can read here, it described a natural word through which God's presence runs like an electric current, no? That it states here that the God's power is compared to the bright flashes of light reflected by the foil as it reacts to the sunlight. So the light emitted is extremely bright and great, just like God's power. Okay, so as it states there that it gathers to a greatness like the ooze of oil. So, gigamit sa poet ang captivating image of rich oil that gracefully leak through fresh seed to show how wonderful God's power. No? It gives us strong proofs of God's presence in the world. No? And at the last, the poet asks why humanities fail to heed or alagaan, no? As it states there, Rick, his divine authority as his rod. Okay? Okay, so let's now proceed to the second 4 line of the octave. Okay, so here it shows how humanities destroy the good creation of God, no? In the lines, crushed. Why do men now not reap his wrath? So it states that people do not fear or respect God, and they have continuously used the world no? As it states, and all is seared with trade, bleared, smeared and with toil. And the swears man smudge and shares man smell the soil, is bare now can feel being shot. No, it says that people have done so much harm with human act, no, such as trade, but they do not realize the effects on the effects on the world. Okay, so here it clearly describes the contemporary of human life, the repetitiveness of human labor, the blared, smeared, seared, and smudged. These are the words shows how man spoiling nature magnificence with the work they do. So why? Why seared? Because seared suggests injury, while smeared and bleared suggest dirt and defilement. Okay? So the nature surrounds us shows that God is the great creator, but humanity keep on destroying. It's through the repetitiveness of the labor, no? We cut so many trees, no, daghan kaayo mag-mining, gubon na to ang mga bungtod kay para i-mining. Ang mga forest na nga upaw na tungod sa laging, no? Diba? So, because of us human, gihinay-hinay gihapon na to og destroy. It states here in the poem that we humans slowly destroy the good creation of God, the nature, no? Daghan kay pollution tungod sa mga factory, mga pabrika, mga sakyanan, no? So this is it, the final 6 lines of the sonnet. Okay, so these lines shifts in the argument, no? It states that despite how much humanities destroy the creation of God, still the nature does not cease offering its greatness. It's like the morning awaits on the other side of the dark, no? It's like the renewal of God's power. Murabag, despite how much we destroy the landscape of its creation, still God gave us tomorrow, no? Tomorrow which serves as hope. Wala gihapon niya gilaog ang kalibutan sa atua bisan kapila na to ni gubon, no? Bisag naupaw na ng mga kanang kabukiran, but still na ay mutubo nga kahoy, no? Bisag kapila na ta guba sa mag-mining, naaghapoy i-renew gihapon niya, no? Still wala gihapon gilaog sa Ginoo ang iyahang gihatag sa ato ang kalibutan. Gitagaan gihapon ta niya ugma which serves as hope. So nakuha ba ninyo ang message sa poem? Ang message sa poet na gusto niya ihatag o ibahagi sa iyang reader. Okay. So what message the author wanted to convey? Sa gusto niya ihatag ibalo sa ato. Okay. So, the poet conveys that no matter how us humans destroy his creation, no matter how we slowly destroy the world, still God gave us hope. No? Wala gihapon niya gilaog kanato ang kalibutan. No matter how much trees we cut, naag hapon mutubo bago, as I said ganiha. Now, this poem gave us realization of how great God is. That's why it was entitled Grandeur, because it shows how powerful God, no? From the word grandeur, which means greatness or grandness. Okay, so here are the literary devices that the author used. The first is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds, the no? Generations have trod, and and all is seared with trade, bleared, smeared with toil. And second is parallelism. and all is seared with trade, paralleling to bleared, smeared with toil, and wears man's smudge, is paralleling and shares man's milk. So the third one is consonants. No, d, d. Worlds broods with warm breasts and with bright wings. Okay, so the fourth one is the metaphor, which a figure of speech, not the comparison. Like here, it will flame out like from shook foil. And the fifth one is the simile. It compares to the object. It will flame out like the shining from shook foil, and it gathers to a greatness like the ooze of oil. And the sixth one is alliteration, the g sound. It gathers to a greatness like the ooze of oil, and the d sounds. Their lives to the dearest, fresh, deep down things. And the last one, the seventh, anaphora, the repetition of word, or the expression of words have trod. Nabiadto sa poem na have trod. Okay, so I think that would be all. And I will thank you, all of you, for listening into this discussion. I hope you acquire the knowledge or what was my analysis to the poem God's Grandeur. So again, thank you all. Thank you, Mom. God bless.